Welcome to Travel Austria Quick Tips. Great trips. Today we are diving into something I think is really fascinating. It's a logistical blueprint, really, for tackling the Austrian Alps specifically. We're talking about Tyrol.
Right. And the big question we're answering is how do you get that incredible alpine experience? The peaks, the valleys, but without a car.
Exactly. Without the stress of renting, navigating those mountain roads, or trying to find parking, which can be a nightmare.
It's a complete mindset shift. Most people assume you need a car for that kind of freedom. But we're going to show you that the opposite is actually true. Leveraging Austria's public transport system can lead to a trip that's frankly just more relaxing.
So, our mission today is tactical. We want to unpack the secret to getting those stunning views with, well, high impact but low effort. It's about turning Tyrol's transport system into your greatest asset.
And Tyrol is really the heart of the Austrian Alps. It's that picture-perfect image you have in your mind, the sharp peaks, the green valleys. Being well informed on how to use the trains and buses there means you can experience all of it and, probably more comfortably than someone stuck in traffic.
Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll break down the core strategy, this mindset shift for car-free travel. Then we'll identify the best places to base yourself, the hubs.
And after that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the transport itself, the trains and the buses, and finally, we'll put it all together into some actual day trip plans.
It's basically a shortcut to mastering the logistics of the Alps. Let's get into it. Okay,
Let's do it.
let's start with the foundation. The single most important principle for making this work is something called the hub and spoke model.
It is. It's the absolute core of the whole strategy. If you forget everything else, remember this. It's what stops an alpine trip from becoming a logistical headache.
A lot of people try to do that, right? They plan to move from village to village every other night.
Exactly. And that just introduces so much complexity. The hub and spoke model gets rid of all of that. It simplifies everything.
So can you define those two parts for us? In the context of Tyrol, what's a hub and what are the spokes?
Sure, the hub is your home base. It's the one single location you stay for your whole trip. And the crucial thing is you pick it for its transport connections, not just because it's, a pretty village.
So it's the center of the wheel.
Precisely. And the spokes are your day trips. They're the simple journeys you take radiating out from your hub, using the regular, reliable trains and buses to get to a specific mountain or town or lake.
So you unpack your bags once and you're done. No more living out of a suitcase for a week.
That's a huge part of it. Let's analyze why this works so much better. The first big win is what you just said. No luggage fatigue.
Oh, that's a real thing. Packing and unpacking every 2 days is draining.
It really is. You save so much mental energy by just staying put, no frantic checkouts, no hauling bags onto a bus. You can focus on the fun stuff.
Okay, so that's reason number one. What's the second big advantage?
Weather. Alpine weather is famously unpredictable.
Right. You could plan a trip to a mountain viewpoint and it's just completely fogged in for 3 days straight.
Exactly. And if you've booked your hotel in that one specific remote valley, your plan is ruined. You're stuck.
But with a hub and spoke model, if the weather is bad where you plan to go,
You just pivot. You pick a different spoke. Your hub, because it's so well connected, gives you instant plan B options. You could take a train east instead of west or just explore the city you're based in. You don't lose the whole day.
and the third killer of a vacation that this solves.
Driving stress. When you're driving, you're working. You're focused on the road, on navigation, on not missing your turn.
Yeah, you're not exactly gazing at the scenery.
Right. But on a train, that travel time becomes leisure time. You're watching the Alps glide by your window. You're relaxing. The journey itself becomes part of the experience, not just a chore to get from A to B.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about maximizing your return on investment. The ROI is less stress and more flexibility.
What's fascinating here is that you're just tapping into a system that's already there for daily life. Public transport in Tyrol is how locals get to work and school. It has to be reliable. We're just using that reliability for our vacation.
So that first decision where you set up your base, that's the most important one you'll make.
It's the highest leverage decision of the entire trip, absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about those hubs. If that decision is so critical, what are the options? You mentioned 3 main types.
That's right. And they're not just random towns, they're categorized by what kind of experience and connectivity they offer.
Let's start with what you called the number one base for car-free travelers, the big one. Innsbruck.
Yeah, Innsbruck is basically logistical perfection for this kind of trip. First, its location is right in the middle of the Inn Valley, which is the main artery for all transport.
It's a major train hub, right? Not just for Austria.
For Europe, you have high-speed trains coming in from Germany, Italy, Switzerland. It's the central distribution point for the entire region, plus it's the epicenter for all the local buses and regional trains. The sheer number of spokes you have from Innsbruck is just unmatched.
And you mentioned that all-important plan B, the weather insurance policy.
Right, Innsbruck is a city, a small, beautiful city, but a city nonetheless. So if you wake up and it's pouring rain, you don't cancel your day. You go to the Hofburg Palace, you check out a museum, you explore the old town and the Golden Roof.
You always have a great weatherproof option.
Always.
Yeah.
That cultural density is your safety net against the mountain climate.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense. What about the second option? The practical valley base you mentioned, towns like Gemborg or Würkel.
These are what I'd call the workhorse hubs. They are for the traveler who is laser focused on pure transit efficiency.
So, not the storybook perfect Austrian villages.
No, they're not. They are functional, practical towns built around major rail junctions. But their strategic value is huge because they sit where the main in-valley line intersects with other key branch lines.
So from Jenbach, for example, you can hop on the scenic train into the Zillertal Valley.
While also being on the main line to shoot over to Salzburg or back to Innsbruck in minutes, it's for the person who values saving 5 minutes on a transfer over having a medieval facade outside their hotel window.
Maximum efficiency.
Yeah.
You get it. And the third option, the one that's maybe more what people picture in their minds.
The classic alpine base. This is your Kitzbühel, your St. Johann in Tyrol, maybe Meierhofen in the Zillertal, the postcard towns.
But this one comes with a big warning label, right?
A huge one. There is one single non-negotiable rule if you choose one of these towns as your hub.
And that is?
It must have a train station with frequent regular service, not just a bus that comes twice a day.
Because if you're waiting hours for a connection, you've lost all the flexibility you were trying to gain.
You've just traded the stress of driving for the stress of a bad timetable. Here's where it gets really interesting. Connectivity beats cute every single time. An isolated but beautiful village forces you to plan your entire life around its transport schedule. A well-connected hub lets you be the one in charge.
That's a great way to put it. So let's quickly nail down the two key things to look for in your accommodation, no matter which hub you pick.
Number 1. Be close to the station, ideally walking distance. You want to eliminate any need for a taxi or another bus just to start your day trip.
Makes sense. And number 2?
Check the frequency of service for the season you're traveling in. Summer and winter timetables are usually packed with options for tourists, but if you travel in, say, November, the shoulder season, some of those routes might run less often or not at all.
So you have to check the current fire plan, the timetable online before you book?
Absolutely. That little bit of research prevents a massive headache later. The train station is your number 1 amenity on a car-free trip.
So we've got our base. Now let's talk about the transport system itself. You described it as a dual-layer ecosystem.
That's right. You have the train as the backbone and the buses as the connector.
Let's start with the backbone, the trains. You said the main corridor is the Inn Valley.
Yes, and it's not just some local line. This is part of Austria's main rail artery, the Westbahn, that runs all the way from Vienna. That's why it's so fast, frequent, and reliable. It's critical infrastructure.
And the experience itself is just fundamentally different from driving.
It's a completely different sensory experience. You're not gripping a steering wheel. You're sitting back watching these incredible landscapes unfold right outside your window. The travel time isn't wasted. It becomes a mini sightseeing tour.
That's the real luxury of it, I think, that mental shift.
It is. Now let's talk tickets. If you're doing a bunch of day
drink?
trips, you need a smart ticketing strategy. You don't want to be buying a new ticket every time you hop on a train.
Right. So what's the play here? Regional passes.
Yes. For travel within Tyrol, you'll want to look at the VVT, that's the local transport authority. They have day passes or weekly passes that cover most trains and buses in the region.
And sometimes hotels offer guest cards, right?
They do. In Innsbruck, for example, the welcome card you get from your hotel often includes public transport and even some cable cars like the Nordkette lift.
So the strategy is book your long-distance ticket to your hub, say from Vienna as far in advance as possible for the best price.
Exactly, but once you're there for your daily spokes, you switch to a flexible regional pass or a guest card. It saves money, and just as importantly, it saves the hassle of buying tickets all the time.
Okay, let's pivot to the other half of the system, the bus, the mountain connector.
This is what gets you vertical. The trains own the valleys, but the buses climb the hills. They solve that last mile problem, connecting the train stations to the lift stations, the little villages, the trailheads.
I think some people might be nervous about mountain buses. They imagine them being, I don't know, unreliable or confusing.
It's a common fear, but in Tyrol, especially in the main tourist seasons, it's just not the case. They are designed for visitors. The schedules are often perfectly timed to meet the trains.
So your train from Innsbruck pulls into Jenbach and the bus to the next valley is literally waiting for you.
That's often how it works. That seamless transfer is what makes the whole system feel so effortless.
But there is a caveat, right? We mentioned this with the hubs.
The bus caveat, yes, we have to repeat it. In the shoulder season or on less popular routes, the frequency can drop a lot, so you have to know the schedule. You have to build your day around those few critical departure times. Assume nothing.
What's fascinating here is how the transport system mirrors the geography. The train is for the fast, flat valley floor, and the bus handles the slow, winding climb up the mountains.
It's a perfectly integrated system. It's engineered to solve that classic problem. How do you get easy access to rugged remote places? And in Tyrol, they figured it out.
Okay, so we've got the strategy and the tools. Now for the payoff. The views, the reason we go to the Alps in the first place. You called Scenic Rides, the gondolas and cable cars, the secret weapon.
They really are. They're the key to getting that massive high alpine experience without needing to be a mountaineer. They democratize the summit view. It's maximum reward for minimum physical effort.
Which is perfect for so many people. Families with kids, older travelers, or just anyone who doesn't have time for an 8-hour hike.
But there's a really important principle here. The key is not to overdo it. The advice is clear. Choose one scenic ride per day, not 3.
That seems a little counterintuitive. If you're there, why not try to see as much as possible?
Because 3 rides means 3 queues, 3 ticket buying processes, 3 schedules to juggle. It turns your day into a frantic checklist. The goal is to combine that one amazing ride with a relaxing day. Have a long lunch at the top, take an easy walk, actually soak it all in.
So you're optimizing for the quality of the experience, not the quantity of lifts ridden.
Exactly. It should feel like a vacation, not a race.
You break down the types of rides into 3 categories. What's the first one?
The first is the high viewpoint. This is all about pure drama and scale. It's the lift that takes you way up above the trees to a panoramic terrace where you can see for miles. This is for that big wow moment.
And the second type, the scenic journey.
Here, the ride itself is a huge part of the attraction. The classic example is the Nordkette funicular and cable car in Innsbruck. You start in the city center and you just go straight up the mountain face. Watching the city shrink below you is an experience in itself.
It's about the journey, not just the destination at the top.
Exactly. And the third category is the relaxed mountain area.
What's the goal with this one?
This is all about atmosphere and ease. These lifts take you to an area that's already set up for leisure. You'll find wide, gentle paths, sun terraces, and great mountain restaurants. The goal isn't a big hike, it's to just be there. Sit, eat, enjoy the silence.
So what this all means is you're using this incredible engineering to get the payoff. Yes,
Yeah.
the view, without the physical penalty.
You're leveraging technology to access the sublime. And Tyrol has really perfected this. They've designed it so that everyone, no matter their fitness level, can experience the grandeur of the Alps.
All right, let's put it all into practice. Let's walk through some of those day trip blueprints.
Great. These are the concrete plans that show how the whole hub and spoke system works in real life.
Okay, blueprint number 1. The dual focus day in Innsbruck. This seems like the perfect example of using your hub's flexibility.
It is. It's all about strategic timing to beat the weather. The plan is you spend the morning in the city, you do your cultural stuff, museums, the palace, wander the old town.
And keep an eye on the mountaintops.
Exactly. If it's cloudy, you just keep enjoying the city, no problem.
Right.
But if the sun breaks through, which often happens in the afternoon, you pivot. You grab lunch and head straight for the Nordkette cable car.
So you guarantee yourself a great day, no matter what the weather does.
You maximize your chances of getting that perfect view without risking a wasted day.
I love that. Okay, blueprint 2, the atmosphere day. A trip to a classic alpine town like Kitzbühel.
This one is a much lower pressure day. The goal is just to soak in the charm. You take an early train to Kitzbühel, explore the beautiful, walkable town center before it gets too crowded.
And the main event is the town itself.
Yes, the colorful buildings, the cobbled streets. Find a great spot for a long, leisurely lunch. A scenic lift ride is just an optional add-on if the weather is great and you feel like it, the pressure is off.
It's about slowing down to the village pace.
I like it. Now, Blueprint 3 sounds really interesting. The immersion day, a deep dive into a valley like the Zillertal.
This is where car-free travel is just, so much better than driving because the journey is the experience.
Explain that. What makes it so special?
Well, from the main line, you get off at Jenbach and you transfer to the Zillertalbahn. It's this wonderful old-school narrow-gauge railway that goes deep into the valley.
So it's not just a standard commuter train. Not at all. It follows the river, and as you travel, the mountains just get bigger and bigger, closing in around you. You're watching the whole landscape transform from your window. By the time you get to Meierhofen at the end of the line, you feel like you've really arrived somewhere.
Once you're in Meierhofen.
You're right at the base of the high peaks. You can hop on a world-class lift, spend a few hours up high, and then enjoy that beautiful train ride back out. It's a perfect day.
And the final blueprint, number 4, the journey day.
This one is the most minimalist. It acknowledges that sometimes just being on the train and watching the world go by is the point. You might just ride a section of the track, like the Brenner Pass route towards Italy for a bit, just to see the incredible engineering and the views and then come back.
It's a low-energy, high-reward day. Perfect for some quiet reflection.
Exactly. It shows that even on a rest day, the system provides a really rich experience.
Okay, so let's put this all together. Let's look at an actual plan for a first-time visitor.
All right, let's use the 4-day sample plan because it has one component that is just strategically brilliant.
Okay, so day 1 is arrival and settling into Innsbruck. Day 2 is a classic town day. Day 3 is the valley deep dive.
And then you have day 4, the crucial flex day.
Wait, hold on. A flex day? If I only have 4 days, isn't that a waste? Shouldn't I be planning something for that day?
That's what most people would think, but it's actually the secret to a stress-free trip. Think of it as your insurance policy. If you schedule 4 packed days and the weather ruins one of them, you're disappointed.
Ah, I see. So if day 2 was a total washout, day 4 becomes your do-over day for that big mountain view.
Exactly. You use it to catch the thing you missed because of bad weather. Yeah. And if the weather was perfect on all the other days, then day 4 is a bonus. A low-key day for museums, shopping, or that relaxing train ride we just talked about.
It removes the pressure. That's brilliant.
It turns the unpredictability of the Alps from a problem into a manageable variable.
Let's wrap up with those 7 key practical tips. The final checklist.
Let's do it. Tip 1, pack layers. Valley floor to mountaintop can be a massive temperature swing, even summer. You need to be prepared.
Tip 2, start early. The transport is quieter and the mountain views are almost always clearer in the morning before the afternoon clouds build up.
Tip 3, keep goals simple. 1 main focus per day, 1 town, 1 valley, 1 scenic ride. It prevents burnout.
Tip 4, don't fear winter travel. For most visitors, the public transport is far safer and easier than trying to drive on unfamiliar snowy roads. The trains always run.
Tip 5, choose connected accommodation. We've said it before, but it's critical. Avoid that cute but isolated cottage. Stay near the train station.
Tip 6, keep evenings local. Enjoy a relaxed dinner near your hub. This isn't a trip for late nights and long travel back to your hotel. It's about rejuvenation.
And finally, tip 7, easy paths count. You don't need to do a grueling hike to earn the view. The scenic rides and gentle summit paths are there for a reason. Embrace them. The experience is just as valid and just...
So the big takeaway here is that the slower, more intentional pace of car-free travel isn't a drawback. It's actually the main feature. It forces you to relax, look out the window, and have a genuinely restful vacation. What a fantastic breakdown of strategy. We've really unpacked a complete blueprint for seeing the Austrian Alps without a car. It's clear. Base yourself in a hub like Innsbruck, use the trains as your backbone and buses as your connectors.
And by focusing on one big thing a day and building in that crucial flex day, you take the stress right out of the equation. It proves that real freedom in the Alps doesn't come from a set of car keys.
And as we leave you with all this, here's a final thought to mull over. We've talked a lot about efficiency and logistics. But consider this. How might traveling this way change how you see Tyrol itself? Does the landscape you see from a train window, one that connects communities along the valley floor, tell a different, maybe deeper story about the region than one seen through a windshield while focused on a winding road? The public system itself, in its ease and its clever design, is a quiet but powerful expression of Austrian culture.
Thanks for listening to Travel Austria. Quick tips, great trips, and see you soon in Austria.